okay? Are you? Are you dreaming reality with God always? I already had a little bit of a glitch there. Okay, sorry about that. Moving along. I forgot to undo the camera. We're going to do it all different tonight. Got my look back. The hair, except for this. Although I need to still. I do need to trim, touch up. I'm already getting distracted. So the question is still, what's wrong? And the answer is you. And I had to suddenly bring it to a stop in the last stream. And I thought I was going to drop. I think I explained it as I thought I was going to pass out, fall asleep. But I thought it was just going to drop. I kind of panicked inside mentally and brought it to a close and immediately laid down for about an hour. Where I felt like I was good to go. And I'm back. So let's go ahead and turn that off. And today is December 7th. It is the year 2020, and I am in California on the Pacific West Coast. I feel so much better that I took the hair off. The only reason I had it there was because I could not stand and tend to doing such a task. Foot's mending, I suppose. I can move about. I did get groceries yesterday and visited my mother briefly, first time in 2 months. Dropped off some goodies, and yeah. It's a strange world. It's a very strange world right now. I thought that because I've been trying to figure out what. Yeah, like I said, I have no idea. I just thought I was going to drop. All of a sudden, just out of the blue, like a switch was flipped, and yeah, I don't know. I thought that maybe it's because I've been so concentrated on what's going on in the world, in the physical world. And not spending as much time on the other side of the fence, so to speak. So I thought the one thing that I did think of as prep, I suppose, for this stream was to bring up the Mandela Effect. If you don't know what the Mandela Effect is yet, it is an occurrence, a believed occurrence that I haven't spent time in the subject of late. Again, my mind has been focused on the real world that I am in right now. But a few years ago, it came on pretty strong that there was discussion that reality had changed. Okay? It absolutely changed. What was once remembered as a memory was no longer true, no longer valid. It was false. Why? Yeah. I am in the camp that there are certain things that are took place, that are not familiar to me anymore. They, for all appearances, on the surface, have changed. Now, I'm intelligent enough to realize that such a notion is pretty much impossible to prove, unless you had the power, to make a thing change, but for another to witness, it just isn't happening. It's a weird camp to be in. Me being a very logical mind, while I am very spiritual, on one hand. On the other hand, there's curiosity, the unknown, science, to understand. So to grasp and hold on to a notion that reality has changed, a thing is no longer what it was, the lyrics in a song, a scene in a movie, the dialogue. I don't want to go into it. A thing is different. The logical mind says that can't happen. That does not happen. But not without asking questions like, what would be the purpose of such emotion within reality to have alternate, multiple choices for a question. It's not something you talk about at the dinner table, especially now. I would imagine with all of this happening in the world right now, which we'll get to shortly. So you're kind of left there alone on your own with the reality that you can't let go of. I mean, it's a part of you. It's attached to you. You know what you know, and nothing will change that. And the world around you sees it differently, is behaving differently. And I feel like whatever the Mandela Effect was intended for, maybe many things. I think one of them may be for this moment right now that I am in. This reality, this that everybody will agree is happening, I would think. Everything is unreal. Reality is not, it's not what I thought it was anymore, and it has nothing to do with the Mandela Effect. It has to do with the choices that are being put before the world, before countries, for people. It's unreal. It's I think that had the Mandela Effect, because of the Mandela Effect, for me, it's made it easier to some degree to kind of deal with this. Not, I can't imagine where my mind would be had the Mandela Effect not happened, and then to find myself in the situation we are all in right now. Before I forget, wake up, stand up, and speak up. Right now, because you're not going to have much longer to do that. Your right to speak is being taken away. It's being censored. Oh, you can speak, and you just will not be allowed to speak on public platforms, I guess, which I don't understand where they're not public. They're not public. Everything is unreal right now. This election, this COVID. I mean, it was unreal before, don't get me wrong. There hasn't been a day, I think, for me, for a good 4 decades, easy, that I haven't questioned what's going on in the world. What's the motivation? What is the point of all of us? Is there some goal shared by everyone? And I can't say that I see one. I see attempts, hints, but I am yet to see something that just catches fire and everybody's on board. I think that moment's coming soon. Something's coming. It's already happening, and in ways it's already happened. planned. This is all planned. And you think this is just chance? All the events of the world right now, the world that you live in as a human being in this modern day and age. You think it's chance. Nothing happens by chance. Just think about it. Spend your day, spend tomorrow, spend today if it's in the morning and you're just getting started. But spend it making notes of every time every time you realize what each moment that goes by in the day, you notice whether it's happened by chance or if there was intention. I'm pretty sure that you're going to be pleasantly surprised to see that it's not chance. I mean, when you're at the stop sign, you stop not by chance. You stop with intention. And the next thing you do after that is by intention. And on and on and on, all the way till you get to your destination, which was intention. Everything in this world is based on intention, pretty much for the most part. It's not chance. This virus is not chance. There's enough out there, information, we have enough, but see, it doesn't matter anymore, really. I think we're moving beyond something that's bigger than even all of that. All of that's going to take too much time. All the courts and something else is coming to quicken things up. We don't have time for courts. Too many people are involved in what's taking place right now. The takeover, the one world, however it works best for your mind to grasp. It's real, for one. I've spent time talking in these streams about the money thing, and everything it's all money. Everything. And people will do any and everything for money. How is it that Joe Biden is out there in the public saying that he is the president-elect, that on January 20th he will be inaugurated into the office and begin to assume his role as such? Why? Why is that so? It absolutely makes no sense in my mind. Because at this point in time, knowing what I know, what I am seeing, that is getting out to the public, that the mainstream media, that certain agencies would rather you not be shown. And after viewing, hearing, listening, I cannot understand how Joe Biden can say what he is saying. Any of them. the woman, Kamala. Pelosi. Judgment Day is it is, I think, what we're talking about. All these events that are taking place, it's all unfolding to that point in time. There's going to be a judgment call. Don't you think? One is needed. A judgment. Again, how can a man who has a son with a laptop, which I guarantee you, if you had that laptop, and it was now in the hands of the government, agencies, FBI, whoever has it, police, you'd be in the next room or so over. So why is the son not? That aside, why is Joe Biden going to be the president in his mind? With that kind of information about his son out there, and it seems like there's more and more coming out that this is it's all unending. It's so many are involved in making this happen, keeping it going. And it's easy with money. I like the money. I mean, they'd rather not. I mean, whoever has all the money would rather have all the money. They'd rather not give it away. Then you don't have all the money. But if you do have all the money, it makes it easier to do things, to convince people. Doesn't matter if the thing is right or wrong when it comes to money. That's the sorry state this world is in. The choices it thrives on that dictate the future, which my mind does a pretty good job of computing out. It can imagine, and such a world just does not, in my mind, have a future. Not a good future, not for everyone, because it's not designed for everyone from the beginning. Money was never designed. Obviously, money is not designed for everyone, because the use of money is designed right now so that if you had the means to have it all, you have that right. There is nothing that says you don't have the right to acquire all the money that this world has to offer. That's the truth. That's why I say money is it's not the answer. There's a different way. Obviously, now you say that, and then people are like, "Well, what's that way?" You can't say that unless you know the way. And I'm like, no, you can say that if you don't know the way, because saying that inspires you to look for the way. If you can't give it a possibility, there's nothing to build on. All I'm saying is that there's clearly a better way, a different way to go about what's going on right now with this whole money. Right now in the United States of America, you have millions of people who are having money problems. I mean, the whole world's having money problems, but America is having money problems because of the virus, because they're businesses are shut down, and they're probably never going to be able to open them up again. That's one level. I've noticed that in the stores, there's certain food items that used to always be there that are not. Things are changing. It's heavy. That's why I think it's hard to get up here and have these streams, because it is heavy. It makes no sense. Everything just seems so unreal. You have these people that have all the money, and they spend chunks of it on these computer systems, these computers, D-Wave, quantum computers, which is giving them the ability to process incredible amounts of possibilities, all at the same time, simultaneously. And they're using that to base policy. These companies, corporations, governments, they're using machines. There's like no more human element to this on some levels. That's a little alarming to me, because I don't think there should be any aspect of human development that a human doesn't have a part in. Am I wrong? But see, that's not what's taking place right now. You have these computers that are processing all these probabilities, and then using all those probabilities to make a decision that it says is the best decision. And it may be the best decision, but it's kind of sterile, I guess is where I'm going. It's a sterile decision. It's a cold and sterile decision. There's no human involved. Now, you have those people out there that want to blend with computers, and the two become one, and I guess then that makes it okay to make decisions like they're letting these machines make. It's crazy. News is supposed to be unbiased. That's what I grew up for decades observing. It was unbiased. It gave you both sides. It didn't seem to pick a side necessarily, unless it was some horrendous thing that was awful. That you'd have to be nuts not to see that. But other than that, it gave you what's going on, all of it. But that's not the case anymore because of the money. People who own these stations, these networks, are making the calls. They don't like you or what you have to say, well, then they're not going to share what you have to say. Now, the crazy part for me, I guess, right now, the unreal factor is the fact that the president of these United States of America, at this current point in time, Donald J. Trump, is being censored. That's like a Mandela effing effect. In my mind, I just can't see that ever happening. because it makes no sense. Well, I'll tell you what, I've never owned an Apple product. Never owned a Macintosh or an Apple IIe or any computer from Apple. I've never owned an Apple iPhone. Never owned anything from Apple. Now, when I look at Apple, I see Apple as an American company. And while I have a lot of respect for Steve Wozniak, I mean, he's the dude that built the computer, made the computer, put it together. The other guy, Jobs, he just sold it. Anyway, I've never owned an Apple product, and I never will, more than ever, because I cannot fathom, again, this is just unreal. It's that unreal factor. I cannot understand how a company such as Apple would be against legislation that is up for debate right now that involves banning, not being able to employ slave labor, like over in China, which is a fact. It's not myth, it's a fact. Okay? And Apple wants to use that they like it like that. And they don't want that legislation going anywhere because it would go against their profits. Being able to have the factories over in China, that's just not American, man. That this company would actually be fighting against legislation to prevent slave labor. That's just disgusting. I know now more than ever why I've never owned an Apple product, and I know a lot of you do have an Apple iPhone, you know, and you love them. I know you do. I was just talking to somebody the other day, and they were saying that they have their iPhone, and they love their iPhone. I don't have one, and I don't need one, and I don't want to support somebody that wants to capitalize off of slave labor. I thought we were past that here in the United States. Apparently not, because we're allowing for it. How? By purchasing. If you weren't there to make those purchases, there wouldn't be the demand for them to have to go over to China, I guess, to make all that money. I mean, why the hell does Bezos need $300 billion? Huh? Why does anybody need that kind of money? You know, I'm kind of switching gears there, but it's all connected. All these companies, all these corporations, they're inhuman. They're just not human anymore. There's no more human element. It's all the money. It's all calculations, probabilities, projections. It's an art. It's an art. I say it's an art because they're doing it right in front of your face. Just like they are with the COVID. Just like they are with the COVID. That virus. Pesky virus. Got you all wearing your mask when you socialize, loving on that CO2. Oh yeah, baby. Breathe in. People die every day. They do. People die from sickness, flus, disease, every day. Now, we're told that there's going to be just tragedy, and it's not true. The fact of the matter is the numbers show that your risks are not as high as was projected. The only thing is out there of truth is that your odds of getting it are good. Everybody's probably going to get it. Just like everybody, most, if not everybody, gets a cold or a flu. Every year they come and go. I mean, if you took any previous flu or cold that we've had and you put into investigating it as they've done with this one, you would probably get the same kind of numbers if they do it the way they're doing this one. But again, nothing happens by chance. Everything happens by intent. Clearly, this did not come out of a market, a food market in China, Wuhan. Didn't somehow find its way from some animal and into the market. That's not how this worked. It isn't. And I think we know there's enough people out there putting information out. And if you are not watching Band Dot video, I don't know what to say to you as far as news goes, because mainstream media, I see the mainstream media bits and pieces that and I'm floored to watch some person lie. I mean, just straight up lie. Not tell the truth. Make assumptions. It's a mind blower. That's unreal to me. That's not the reality I remember. I remember a time when if that took place, the public outroar would have been enough to bring that kind of talk to a stop. But again, it doesn't matter anymore, because it doesn't. The people that own the networks are making every decision. Doesn't matter how many people out there in the public have an opinion. They don't make the call. Person that has all the money is the person that's making that call. The timing just happens to come about when this country's having an election, and this is a huge country when it comes to the world. So again, it's not chance. It just wasn't chance that the virus came this year. It was intent. And to think that there are minds like that out there, that's how they operate. It's coming to a stop. That's the one thing that brings a ray of light into my mind and heart is knowing that the day is coming. Everybody's cards are going to be on the table. You won't be able to take them back, change them. They will lay as they lay. I'm trying to see how long I've been streaming. Usually I can find that, but I'm not seeing it this time around. Banned on video. That's enough said. You just got to go there and just start watching. There's plenty there to watch. Going back and current. We are being lied to on a historic level. There's no precedent for what's taking place right now in the world. And clearly you can, the people are being defined, wrong and right, white and black, keep everything G-rated. But you can see, I mean, you know who's who. Like these governors and mayors. I mean, you know who they are. I mean, we get to see streams of them and things and activities that they're doing, and I mean, it's pretty obvious. A good number of them have placed all of us underneath them. They have a different agenda. They do things differently. They're allowed to have things be normal. So, yeah. From what I've seen, and from my mind trying to process it all, President Donald J. Trump won this election. There is the cheating, the manipulation. It's just, everything is just so unreal. And see, I don't know what's going to happen. Again, like I said, I started off this video, this stream, with feeling like something is coming. I don't know what that is. Just a feeling in my need to try to make sense out of everything, because there's no time for all these trials that need to be taking place. Justice. There's just too many parties involved. This is a mind bender. It's just so unreal. You could never imagine, and that's why it makes it easy to not imagine. I don't see the time. That takes too long. And what happens? Usually, nothing ever comes of it, or I don't know. See, and the money. This is where the money needs to be taken out of the equation, because money changes hands and things get hushed and mystery, you don't know, you disappear. But it was all, I don't want to go get into paranoid thinking or anything. I'm just saying that what we're witnessing right now, is only the beginning to, I can only imagine what everybody's feeling right now, and I think about it every day. What everybody, just the people, what's going on in their minds. Because, who out there was thinking about a day like today? A situation like, last night they started here where I live in this city, Merced, California. They started nighttime curfews where you have to be in at a certain time, and it's just for what? Something else is going on here, and just to keep it simple, in my mind, I think the simplest or the easiest one to at least tackle is there's an agenda of control. Because that's clearly what's being dictated, a control. You have to be inside at a certain time. You're testing the waters, seeing will people do what we're telling them to do. Can we scare them enough? And I say scare because of this virus. That's what they've done. There's an element out there that's what they've perpetuated and breathed life into. Fear. You need to fear. I'm at this point right now. All these people out there in the mask and everything, I'm gonna get to the point where I'm gonna be like, you know what? I'll be dead serious. Let's go to court. And it has to do, because I don't drive. Never owned a vehicle. But you people do. A great many of you do. And there's a percentage of pollution. It's just straight up bottom line pollution that you're spitting out the back end ass of your vehicle. Okay? I understand why you have one and what you do and use it for. But if we're going to get so effing ridiculous as we are right now over things, well, then I have a problem with it. Because if this virus is so scary and affects my breathing, because that's my health, those are the things they talk about, well, so does your car. And it needs to stop. And it needs to stop today, just as they're insistent that today you need to be locked up. That's what we are. We're all locked up. And I know I'm being ridiculous with the whole vehicle and car thing. Sure, that'd be a nice dream if I could somehow produce a means for everybody to get from here to there without a vehicle. I would surely implement it. I'm just trying to make a point of how ridiculous this has become. Every time you step out your front door, there's so many different ways you could die. And I don't see people taking all those precautions for all those ways that they could die. There's some that the odds are probably greater that they would die from other things than this flu or virus, this COVID. And yet, look at us. That mask, the only time I wear it right now is into a store, a grocery store, because that's pretty much the only kind of store I've gone into, grocery store. I put it on just so I can get in and out. I don't want any scenes, because I'm gonna say something. I'm going to become irate, and I don't want to get that way. It's just easier to put it on as soon as I step through the threshold of their store and take it off as I exit. That's the only time. If I'm outside, I don't have one on. I see lots of other people with them on. They're loving that CO2. They love it. They love doing what they're told because the government told them to. A lot of oh my God. Why? Why are they implementing all of this? I wish I could see where it had. Oh, there, I just found it. Okay, almost an hour. Hopefully I don't get that overwhelming feeling to drop. That was weird. I felt that way one time before in my past. It happened like 9 years ago, and I couldn't stand up. I just dropped. Thankfully, I was near my bed, and I was able to get halfway on the bed, so I was kind of kneeling over on the bed until I could move up onto the bed. But I didn't know who I was. I was totally awake, but I didn't know who I was or where I was. I was the weirdest feeling. Anyway, the other night, my other stream, I kind of had that feeling. I'm not sure. It was instant, though. That was what it was like, being zapped almost. And I was like, oh wow, in my mind, I'm thinking I'm streaming. This can't be. So I left with, I think I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna pass out. Anyway, I feel better. The hair, I like not having the hair right now in my life. I've had long hair. I've had hair all the way down to my fanny. And I've been bald a number of times. I like it this way. Tomorrow I'll kind of touch up because I can already feel I missed places. And it's good to be able to move about and stand long enough to be able to tend to those needs. It makes me feel better. Makes me feel more confident. Again, these last few streams, and there's been breaks in between because I'm lost. This is just so bizarre, what is going on in the world and the things that people are doing, the choices that they're making. I mean, I can see people not understanding each other, and there's differences, and there's argument, but this is different. This is on a whole new level, because the things that are happening are things that affect so many, if not everybody. It's just not 2 or 3 people in a conversation. This is everybody. Everybody. I hope Trump can get into the Supreme Court. If not, has something else to razzle-dazzle us and speed up events. Because these other people are... I'm just like... I'm going to probably keep talking about it. How can I not? I mean, I'm here in California. This state loves locking down I call it locking up. We're locked up. They say locked down. I say that's just a pretense to their main objective, which should be locked up. Everybody, for the most part, the majority. You don't need to go anywhere. I mean, look, you've been doing it. So why do you need to start now? That kind of freedom that we once felt, I don't see that, not within the confines of this current present world as it is. I do see a new world. Clearly there has to be a new world. That doesn't mean that a new world can't have attributes of it, the best attributes that were there already. And I believe that America has many attributes that are more than worthy to be carried on into a new world. Unfortunately, there are other powers out there that have a differing opinion. China being one of them. China, oh my. I watched the video of, I should try to find that because I wanted to show somebody that this man in China, some official, he's in the front of the camera, and there must be people there. Yeah, there are, because I remember they were laughing at times. You could hear a response from the crowd. And this man, the things that he's talking about, I was like, oh, I couldn't believe it. You know, if I'm to believe the translation that is being shown on the screen, which I had no reason to believe that it was not accurate or as close as possible, then, oh my. I mean, this Chinese official, whoever he was basically talking about, you know, this country's done. The United States, I mean, they have it all projected out. They're loving the COVID and how it's shut us down. It's ruining us. It's wrecking us. And they're going to seize the opportunity. This man is just saying all these things. He went on and on and on. Blew me away. I'm gonna find that video because I want to show that to somebody. And I may put a little snippet of that man into one of my future streams. Because I'm telling you, there's something huge coming. Something huge. Myself, I think that I'm not thinking on like the virus level or anything to do with money. My mind, when I think about change, I'm thinking about reality itself, all those questions that we all have asked ourselves. What is this? Why am I here? Where am I? What am I? On and on and on. Those questions. I think we are about to get, it's the best way without saying the answers. And more than hints, but not answers, but pretty close. And the reason I say that is because I think that each and every one of those questions you can never answer. There is no one finite answer. It's like with just this time, beginning and end. There is no beginning and there is no end. There just is this one ever expanding, imploding, however you want. It's all those ways. So I'm imagining that there's an intelligence that's here right now. It's always been here. Didn't just come last week, show up. It's been here. It's always here. It's always a part of us. The shade. And we're about to get a glimpse, a peek, so to speak. I've always said for quite some time that I don't see landings on the White House lawn or any lawns. That will never come to be. This intelligence is beyond this reality. I fully believe that dreaming is one way towards whatever this is, one bridge, one means of interacting, beginning. But I'll talk more on that. I've been wanting to do the last couple, just get into the whole intelligence, UFOs. I know a lot of people the UFO thing really gets them kind of bent out of shape, and they get into the devil and the demons, and that's fine and dandy. I'm not saying that there's not this bad element out there, but to presuppose that it's all like that, I think you're closing all the doors. My mindset is your best option is to have all the doors open, all your options. Doesn't mean you can't be safe at the same time. I mean, if you have an option that is possible and something may come of that possibility or option, and you can do what you need to do to optimize your safety, then you can do that. I'm starting to get off here onto a tangent. I've been sitting too long here. I think I'm going to bring this one to a close. I hope everybody's well. And I hope you're standing up. I hope you've already woken up and you're now standing. And in the back of your mind, there are things that you've been thinking. You should say, now is the time. It's scary right now to think that you can't. I mean, it's getting to where you can't even send text or emails because the systems are sifting through everything. You're only going to be allowed to say what the system allows you to say. That will not do. That will not do. Now, I'm not saying don't do what a system says, as long as the system is dictating reason. What's happening right now is unreasonable. It's absolutely unreasonable. I'm still, this whole stimulus thing too, I'm still kind of blown away by what's gone on with that. It's clear all these politicians that are currently in office, each and every single one of them should be removed. There should be massive protest of people demanding it because they didn't do jack all this time, and now we are at Christmas. I can only imagine how many people are going to not make it through this, make it to the first of the year. I can already say, just talking with a friend yesterday, that they have a friend that they just discovered committed suicide. A teacher. This person was a teacher. And they committed suicide. Just found the person. That's happening all over the place. This virus, now, that person will probably be put down as they died of the COVID. This is sad. It's sad because it doesn't need to be this way. Anyway, I thank you again for stopping by. This is my channel, my space here on YouTube. While it can be, I am a white male clearly, and YouTube does not like white males. That is the actual thing. Their computer algorithms, they know that I'm a white male posting this, and their system says to propagate that video as little as possible. Not that that's a big deal for me, because I only have what I have right now as far as YouTube goes. So I'm not letting that stop me. I'm saying what I say. YouTube's days are numbered. They're all numbered. Facebook, Amazon, Google, all these systems, they have no part. They play no part in a world where everybody is treated equally and fairly. Both those hand in hand. None of those companies have that. That's not their ideal. They don't have that as any kind of foundation to stand on. Anyway, this is been another stream, Dreaming Reality with God and music. I should turn on Pandora just to see what Pandora. I meant to do this in the last stream. I was going to end my stream because I didn't do a daily 3. Ooh, it's 11:11. For all those numbers people out there. Turn my phone on. As you can see, I don't know if you can see, that's the Pandora app. I haven't started this since the last time I did a video where I put up a daily 3. So, let's skip to Pandora. I have it turned down, so it's not going to play anything. Oh, okay. Let's hopefully skip the trial. And it is on shuffle. Rupert Holmes. That was the song. Rupert Holmes Escape is what it says. It's having problems with the green screen and the colors of the album. There, the Pina Colada song. I have to think about that one. And I'll have to talk more about the intelligence in the next stream I do. And UFOs. Because we are not alone. We've never been alone. And we never will be alone. Be well. Smile.